Hey guys, Civilord here, back in with another action figure review, and that's right, we are definitely daring to be stupid with this one because today I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes animated universe Voyager class Wreck-Gar, voiced none other by the man, the myth, the legend, Weird Al Yankovic, who actually played up here with Puddle's Pity Party last year. Try saying that 5 times fast. At Ye Old Saratoga Performing Arts Center. Did I go? Well, you didn't see a clip of it, so obviously not. But I'm sure it would have been a fun time. That said, this of course is brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, who will remain fine folks despite the fact that this is a very controversial figure due to the reuse of, is his name Trashmaster? Either way, it's another Junkion that's come out before him. And like all the Junkions, he is a parts former, kind of, sort of. You can pop his arms and his legs off. And in his case, to get him looking proper in robot mode, you do have to pop his arse end off, which turns into the front of the dump truck, and pop it onto his back. At least that's what I do, so he doesn't have a big fat honking badonk-a-donk hanging off his keister. So with that being said, before I get too far ahead of ourselves, when we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Wreck-Gar has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with this crazy Jaws of Life chomper thing. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming the old toy had a weapon similar to this, but don't quote me on that. And not for nothing, I only put these parts here to make it look like a Baraki from Bionicle. Alright, let's make one thing very clear here. Other than that, it's a cool weapon, I guess. He can hold it. I mean, I would hope so, particularly from this area. It integrates better into the vehicle mode, I think, because it is just kind of one of those big abnormal weapons that just kind of sticks off the figure. Taking a closer look at him, you can see his backpack here. It is pegged in securely up top. I think you're actually supposed to do this. I don't think you're supposed to just leave it hanging on the butt, but you know, you can. It's not illegal. You won't be fined for it. But there is his head. Very animated, accurate. It's literally just a cube with a goatee on it. As far as articulation goes, his head can look side to side, can tilt, can look back, but you're just going to fold it into his chest. So it is basically just a swivel, which kind of sucks because Motormaster had a lot more range than that. Shoulders can pop out, back down, make it rotate. It's got a bicep swivel. I think the arms pop off here, so be mindful of that. You get way past 90 out of a single joint. Proof that good old double-doubles aren't always necessary. He also has swivel in the wrist. Which, not for nothing, he's got these knuckle duster cannons. That's kind of gnarly. At least they look like cannons to me. He's got a waist twist, surprisingly enough. Then his hip skirts will move out the way. So you can kick his leg up, kick him down, kick him forward, kick him back. He's got a swivel at the knee, single jointed knee, which again gets 90 degrees, so not bad. And then he does have a pretty decent ankle articulation with a full-blown rocker. Because of transformation, you can kick his feet forward and back. So articulation is definitely good on this guy. It is not, it's not even below average. And he's like a blocky, like, everything gets in the way mess, and he can pose. So all you Marvel Legends people are like, oh, can't pose because of this. That's bullcrap. Because this guy is literally a freaking block. He is a brick, and he can pose. Arguably better than Spider-Man, which is just sad at this point. Like, I should do a top 10 list. How many figures pose better than Spider-Man? How many figures can hold their weapon? Gee whiz, I can't get this in his hand. There we go. It's just a little tough. Which, yeah, like I said, his weapon isn't anything to write home about. But it's a weapon that he comes with that you can use. So standing him up, I like this figure. I don't think it's that bad. I kind of get the reuse. Granted, they could have retooled some of the spikes off and some of the gnarly bits that we'll see a little bit more prominently in vehicle mode. But at the end of the day, it's animated Wreck-Gar. It's freaking Weird Al Yankovic. And at this point, my Weird Al Yankovic collection is up to 2 with this guy and Professor Pig from the DC Multiverse line by McFarlane Toys. So I'm all here for it. I just wish somebody would make Weird Al from Amish Paradise. That would be the best. But before we wrap this up, let's bring in our 2 regulars. We have the Mythic Legion's Brother Benevolith, who is literally buried behind him there. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who, yeah, as always, towers over everyone. Despite the fact that he's not hiding behind Wreck-Gar's arm like Bro-Man, he still towers over all. As it should be, right? So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and once again, despite his very blocky nature, good old Wreck-Gar here can really get down to be stupid and pose. I mean, really, it's astounding to me that this guy, out of all figures, can pose better than the likes of, I would even go so far as to say Maximum Spider-Man. Now, granted, Max Spidey's got him beat in some areas, but the fact that these are made by the same company, and this guy has a lot more hindrances, and those hindrances don't prohibit him from being able to be posed, is just astounding to me, and I really don't see the argument to defend Marvel Legends, or any action figure line for that matter, at this point. If this guy can pose, then anyone can pose. I don't care if it's a Hulk, I don't care if it's a Spider-Man, I don't care if it's a Thor, a Batman, a Superman, a whoever. This guy can pose, anyone can pose. And not for nothing, I think the Transformers community has been a little harsh on good old Wreck-Gar here, because I like this figure. Despite the reuse, I think it's fun. And what, I'm not supposed to buy the Weird Al Yankovic figure? Come on, man, that's just not going to happen. So, with that being said, before we wrap this sucker up, why don't we get this guy transformed and take a closer look at his vehicle mode. And as promised, here we have good old Wreck-Gar from the animated universe in his dump truck alt mode, which is a little Mad Max-ish, to say the very least, with all the spiky dads on the front that look like they're just going to skewer the Decepticons that try to mess with this guy. And he's got Ghost Rider chains on the... Is this called a bucket on a dump truck? I'm not sure. And let's not forget the crazy Monster Jam dinosaur head sticking off the back. That also has what I like to call a little bit of a mohawk here. So he's a little gnarly looking for animated universe, but he does roll back and forth. And not for nothing, I don't think the alt mode is where this guy really shines. I think the robot mode is more or less what people are going to buy this guy for, and given its blocky nature and the fact that the spikes aren't as prominent, I think allows him to kind of get away with the reuse, though it would have been nice to see a bit of a retool on this guy. Maybe swap these parts out with the chains, swap this front end out for something a little less fierce, especially since this is literally a separate piece. All they had to do was mold a new one. The bucket on the dump truck doesn't actually function, which kind of sucks, because I used to have a, well, I still have it. I want to say Revenge of the Fallen, long haul Voyager class that had a working bucket. And since then, we don't get that anymore, and that kind of sucks. But, you know, they are Transformers. They got to be Transformers first. They can't be Tonka Trunks first. So, with that being said, you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.